I'm Evan Melby, owner of the 25,000-acre Melby Ranch Properties in southern Colorado. We just opened a new subdivision of 5 and 10-acre lots. 5-acre lots will sell for $13,000. 10-acre lots will sell for $23,000. Owner will finance 20% off for cash. We are 2 miles from Smith Lake, 4 miles from the base of Mount Blanca. Call for a free video. 1-888-316-LAND.
Metro PCS presents Monster Jam, brought to you by Vets All Buds and Ford Trucks. 12 Monster Jam Superstars featuring Gravedigger. And kid seats are still just $5. January 31st, Dolphin Stadium.
Next, ET and Insider. Aging President Obama, the before and after. Plus, Michelle's gown, inspiring First Lady, fashion for less. Then our exclusive Oscar coverage and Rosie O'Donnell. Next, ET and Insider.
Starting tonight at 7 on CBS 4.
Netting Barn has the largest selection of the world-famous Tempur-Pedic at the guaranteed lowest discount prices. You gotta feel it to believe it. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
In Florida, Davie, Tamarack, Deerfield Beach, Boynton Beach, and West Palm Beach.
We now join our program in progress.
Federal investigators may have found the remains of a bird in an engine of the U.S. Airways jet that landed in the Hudson River. Flying into a flock of birds is the main theory behind what brought down the plane last week. DNA tests are now being done on the possible body parts. We're back in 2 minutes.
I thought you were going to fix that.
It's on my to-do list. What'll I do today? Fix a cabinet door, clean garage. Nah. Get life insurance.
Life insurance?
Just enough to help cover our funeral costs, medical bills, credit cards, and maybe a little extra. That's an easy one. I'll do that.
Life insurance. Easy?
Sure is. I saw an ad for the AARP life insurance program from New York Life. Made a quick call and got this free information in the mail. With AARP Guaranteed Acceptance Life, this is all it takes to enroll. There's no medical exam, no health questions. I just check how much coverage I want, say $15,000, and then I check this box, sign here, and that's that.
$15,000 of life insurance just like that.
If you're between the ages of 50 and 80, it's that simple. AARP members cannot be turned down for AARP Guaranteed Acceptance Life. You can apply for up to $15,000 in benefits without visiting a doctor or answering a single health question. It's easy to enroll and affordable too. Your rates will not increase just because you grow older, and you can never be singled out for an increase. What's more, you can keep this coverage for as long as you live. Whether you're looking to supplement an existing plan or buying protection for the first time, consider AARP Guaranteed Acceptance Life. To get your free information by mail, call now. Not an AARP member yet? We'll tell you how to join.
Call 1-800-485-5599 and receive a free Easy Clip on radio just for calling. There is no obligation. 1-800-485-5599.
That was easy.
Told you so.
Now you have plenty of time to get back to that to-do list of yours.
Call now for free information and a free gift. 1-800-485-5599. 1-800-485-5599.
More than 125 products have been recalled in a salmonella in peanuts investigation that keeps getting bigger. Cases have been reported in 43 states since September. 6 people have died and nearly 500 have gotten sick. CBS' Priya David has the latest.
I hope I never get that again. Pass it to the clear bag.
He's healthy now, but just a few months ago, 7-year-old Christopher Meunier from Vermont was in the hospital fighting for his life.
We had absolutely no idea what was going on, never considered salmonella.
Neither did the family of 72-year-old Sherry Mae Elmer. But after the Minnesota grandmother died suddenly last month, blood tests showed the salmonella bacteria.
It shouldn't have happened. It just shouldn't have happened.
Both families have filed suit against the Peanut Corporation of America, the maker of peanut butter and peanut paste, at the center of the nationwide recall. Wednesday, Nutrisystem joined a growing number of companies that have voluntarily recalled over 125 products that may contain contaminated peanuts. Officials say peanut butter in regular jars appears safe. The foods at risk come from industrial-sized peanut butter and the peanut additives used in snack bars, ice cream, and crackers.
This is hardly the first time salmonella has sickened and scared people. You may recall last summer the tomato industry was crippled until it turned out the real culprit was jalapeno peppers. This has many wondering who's really making sure our food is safe.
For many years at FDA, drug safety had the highest priority. I think that's going to shift. Food safety, that's what's very, very important to the American people.
For now, consumers are advised to stay away from eating anything that contains peanuts. Priya David, CBS News, New York.
Well, you may want to avoid peanut butter snacks. Now's the time to shop for high-end cosmetics. Listen closely. Lots of them are free. CBS's Terry Okita shows us how you can join the party.
For makeup enthusiasts, it's a beautiful thing.
The romance? The Chanel. Okay.
They're lining up at department stores from New York to LA to pick up their free cosmetics.
She said, come, let's do this. And my sister told me it's a happening.
The giveaways are the fruit of a class action suit accusing certain stores and manufacturers of price fixing. As part of the settlement, hundreds of department stores agreed to give away free makeup from major brands like Chanel, Lancome, and Estee Lauder. Items that would cost you up to $25.
It was kind of fun to go around and collect and see what everybody's got.
The freebies are meant for people who bought these products between 1994 and 2003, but no one's checking receipts.
It works on the honor system. At stores like Macy's and Nordstrom in LA, you show up, sign a form, and help yourself to a product. It's supposed to be one per person, but we found some double dippers.
This, same thing, yeah. This and this.
Altogether, the industry is giving away $175 million worth of free products.
I got Lancome mascara. I'm thrilled.
I got Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair, and I'm psyched.
The offer is good until January 26th or while supplies last. And at this rate, they won't last long. Stores are already running out. Terry Okita, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Still ahead, getting out alive. The splash landing in New York's Hudson River has many wondering what they would do in that situation. We'll have some expert advice coming up.
I got accepted to Polytech.
Congratulations!
Way to go, that's great. I'm gonna go tell everybody.
John, how are we gonna afford that?
Maybe I should take that interview after all.
Just for Men takes 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray hair, and can get you to a better place.
My dad taught me if you follow your dreams, anything is possible. Dad, today's for you. Just want to say thanks.
Just for Men.
Introducing Lysol Dual Action Disinfecting Wipes, a new type of wipe with 2 disinfecting sides. A scrubbing side with built-in fibers that easily lifts tough messes, and a wiping side that kills 99.9% of germs. Lysol. Disinfect to protect.
I couldn't sleep last night.
Me either, so I tried Unisom Sleep Melts.
They dissolve quickly without water and taste great.
You'll melt asleep fast, stay asleep, and wake refreshed.
Sleep well?
Like a baby.
Unisom Sleep Melts.
Melt asleep fast.
Don't look, but you're totally getting scoped out right now.
Seriously, where?
Don't look. Been staring at you for like 20 minutes.
What, that? That's the money you could be saving with Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
When mucus causes chest congestion and coughing, it can be a late night.
Here's mucus. We'll be up all night. And now, a word from Mucinex DM. Mucinex DM!
Mucinex DM breaks up mucus and quiets coughing.
Uh-oh. We're off the air!
And Mucinex DM lasts for 12 hours.
I need a new gig.
Mucinex in, mucus out.
Tonight, a deadly illness, but she had insurance. Why the hospital demanded thousands in cash before even letting her in. Tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Barack Obama,
No one has brought you inside this historic presidential campaign like CBS News. Now you can own the most inspiring moments, the exclusive interviews, and never-before-seen footage you could only get from America's premier news magazine, 60 Minutes. Obama, All Access. Order your DVD today.
The biggest names in politics face the nation with Bob Schieffer Sundays.
Investigators have found the clearest evidence yet that U.S. Airways 1549 was hit by a bird. Bird remains were found in the right engine and a feather was stuck to a wing flap. Also, divers located the left engine and hope to get it on land today. Last week, the pilot reported a double bird strike and loss of power in both engines before gliding the plane to an emergency landing on the Hudson River. The captain, of course, is considered a hero, but what about the flight crew? Just how were they able to evacuate 150 people off a sinking plane in less than 2 minutes? The CBS's Ben Tracy reports it's all in their training.
At this flight training center near Los Angeles, they simulate for flight crews the very real emergency that took place on the Hudson.
Let's say we're passengers on this plane.
Brian Omahan of HRD Aerosystems says a water landing is called a ditching. Planes are made to withstand them, and the crew is trained to keep you alive.
What's going to happen?
Well, very first thing we're going to do is remain calm. Listen to the flight attendant, listen to the instructions.
Okay, everyone, we've been informed that there's going to be a water ditching. Don your life vests.
Once passengers have their life vests on, they prepare for impact.
Bend over, grab your ankles, and I need you to hold tight and listen to my voice.
And when the plane hits the water, it's all about getting out quickly.
The water came up. I started to get, close to my neck underwater, and, I just thought I was going to drown right there.
But flight crews are trained to evacuate a full plane in 90 seconds.
They're really more than waitresses and waiters in the sky. They've been trained to help people survive, and we need to listen to them.
Follow me to the overwing exit. Exit leg, body, leg. Do not inflate your life vest until you're overwing. Leg, body, leg. Come on, everyone, go. Okay, pull down on the red tabs of your life vest to inflate.
At this point, passengers are likely standing on the wing, just like many on Flight 1549, who then climbed onto nearby ferries.
As soon as we pulled up alongside, they all started scrambling to the ladder, and we had to kind of tell them to, settle down, be calm.
Here we go.
Other passengers wound up in the same kind of rafts they use in training.
So once your raft is ready, you just hop in and try to get as far away from the plane as you can. Now, of course, all these emergency procedures are in these manuals in the seat back pocket in most planes. Of course, many of us never read them. Ben Tracy, CBS News, Valencia, California.
The Education Department reports that a shocking number of Americans can barely read. According to one study, 1 in 7 adults, that's 32 million Americans, can't read anything more challenging than a food label or a simple children's book. CBS's Seth Doan reports.
The Jones girls, Aisha and Letitia, need to take a break from their own homework.
I forgot the word, Aisha.
To help their dad with his.
What patterns do you see in the 2 columns?
Because at 52, John Jones is just now learning to read.
I was so embarrassed, so ashamed, and I just felt like, man, I'm a nobody.
For many years, unable to read a menu or a bus schedule, Jones was just one of the estimated 65,000 adults in Buffalo, New York, who cannot read above a 5th grade level. And a new study shows the problem is getting worse in many states. California, New York, and Florida have all shown dramatic increases in illiteracy rates. The figures have improved in a few states like Mississippi, Rhode Island, and Kentucky. But worldwide, the United States doesn't stack up too well in general. 14 countries rank higher on reading ability than the U.S. Back in Buffalo, Read to Succeed targets the problem early, teaching preschoolers shapes, colors, and letters.
We have a lot of poverty, and that means a lot of the children don't have the skills, but they have the potential.
The theory being you're never too young or too old to learn.
Protest?
Protested, excellent.
Working with Buffalo's literacy volunteers has given Jones a fresh start.
They gave me a chance to open a door that I could never open before. Hallelujah. I could never open it before because I couldn't read.
and Hig.
Hi.
It's not easy, but Jones says seeing his daughters read inspired him to try.
Hi, baby.
Seth Doan, CBS News, Buffalo, New York.
Paying for higher education has never been harder. A new study's found college students are covering a higher share of costs than ever. So what can you do to pay your tuition? CBS's Richard Schlesinger has some surprises.
How do you just get noodles?
Like so many other students, Sharon Dranko was facing a sticky situation when it came time for college.
My parents were only prepared to pay like $15,000 a year, and my school's $27,000.
She's now a fashion student at Kent State University and fashioned a way to get scholarship money that it's safe to say you have to see to believe. She got $3,000 from a company that makes duct tape when she won a contest by using 134 rolls of the tape to make her high school prom dress. It weighs 50 pounds, and you can hear it coming. It's more fashionable than functional.
I was just going to ask, can you dance in this?
A little bit. I can kind of move side to side.
Yeah, no slow dancing though.
No, because he couldn't even get, my date couldn't get close.
Sharon Dranko didn't just make her dress, she also made a duct tape tuxedo for her date. He got $3 grand too.
There's scholarships for a ton of strange things out there.
Stranger than this?
Not that I've heard of.
Left-handed students can get up to $1,000, skateboarders up to $5,000. And at DePaul University, there's money available for any female student who can learn to sing or play the national anthem with sincerity. So students are cashing in on whatever they can. At Southern Connecticut State University, Morgan LeHue got money from Tall Clubs International because she's 6 feet plus and wrote a good essay. Now, did you ever think that your height would be an advantage?
Not really, just for basic things like grabbing stuff off of shelves.
But it was also good for $500 toward her tuition. Is there something I can do?
No, I got it.
If nothing else, the scholarship hunt teaches valuable lessons in creativity, and in the case of Sharon Dranko's duct tape dress, sticking with or sticking to a project until it pays off. Richard Schlesinger, CBS News, Kent, Ohio.
As the Obama family gets settled into the White House, the Bush twins offered their best advice to Sasha and Malia Obama in a letter published in the Wall Street Journal. 27-year-old Barbara and Jenna advised the girls to relish it all, saying, quote, surround yourselves with loyal friends, cherish your animals because sometimes you'll need the quiet comfort that only animals can provide. Go to anything and everything. When your dad throws out the first pitch for the Yankees, go to the game and slide down the banister of the solarium. In the end, they turned serious with this piece of advice. Quote, many people will think they know your dad, but they have no idea how he felt the day you were born, the pride he felt on your first day of school, or how much you both love being his daughters. So here is our most important piece of advice. Remember who your dad really is. You're watching CBS News Up to the Minute.
If you're suffering from chronic lower back pain, sciatica, herniated disc, degenerative disc, or even failed back surgery, call the number on the bottom of your screen and see if you're a candidate for an emerging non-surgical treatment called spinal decompression therapy. During spinal decompression therapy, the patient reclines, and a gentle pull calculated specifically for that particular patient works in an effort to relieve pressure between discs and allow the back to begin a natural healing process. There are no drugs, no injections, and no surgery. And for thousands of chronic back pain sufferers, it is the one therapy that has provided true back pain relief.
I was not able to work at all for 2 months. There was nothing I could do. I would go back to work on a light duty position, but even a light duty sitting in a chair doing menial work after about 2 days, it would cripple me up again to where I couldn't even do that. it brought my life back to me. All the things I was doing before, playing with the grandchildren, playing with my children, is all back. I could do things with them, lifting them, rolling around with them, chasing them, playing with them. All those things came back without limitations. In my mind, spinal decompression is what you need to look at first. It's non-invasive. I've heard too many stories of surgeries that just didn't work, and the people wish they never had it done because in some cases they are worse off than what they were before. Your spinal decompression, it's got to be your first option.
So if you're tired of living with back pain and don't want surgery, call today and see if spinal decompression therapy can help you.
President Obama spent the day pushing forward as America's commander-in-chief. For one photographer who was there at the beginning, it's a time to look back to when the senator was a long shot. CBS's Harry Smith reports.
Scout Tufengshin's photographs are part of history now. Tufengshin started her career covering the Gaza Strip.
So is this the camera?
Yeah, this is my baby.
Next came an assignment for a Barack Obama book signing in December 2006 in New Hampshire.
I drove up there and I thought it was going to be so boring.
Senator Obama wasn't even a candidate then.
I mean, I didn't know anything about this stuff.
Even though thousands of her photographs were eventually published in newspapers and magazines, most of the time, Tufengshin had to pay her own way. 2 years and some 1 million photographs later, Tufengshin's first book, Yes We Can. She was the only independent photojournalist to cover the Obama campaign from start to finish.
Had you ever met anybody like him before?
No. You can be so sick of him. And, you know, having heard the same speech and you're tired and you haven't slept and I haven't seen my boyfriend in 6 weeks and I haven't had a decent meal in ages and I'm crabby and I'm angry and he smiles at you and it just kind of knocks you over. For people, you know, years from now, I want them to see this is what this moment in history was like. This is how it felt. This is how I saw it. This woman would not let him go.
Right.
They thought, this guy's going to be president, he's going to change my life, he's going to change my kid's life, he is going to change the country.
Do you have a favorite picture?
My favorite picture, my girls from South Carolina, they saw him and went completely insane.
Tufengshin was most impressed by Obama's discipline, but she also saw another side.
Here's one.
This is right after Pennsylvania. So this is after they had him doing all of the
bowling, drinking
and
beer,
the PBR.
Right. Did you see him drink martinis?
In Berlin.
As somebody who was there so much of 2 years, what was his response to you?
He treated me like an annoying younger relative. He would grab my hands and shake my camera, or during a rope line be like, "Scout, you're distracting me."
Do you ever feel like you'll be able to get that close again?
No, definitely not.
Sometimes Tufengshin and Obama were alone at early campaign events. Now they both have plenty of company.
CBS's Harry Smith reporting. Thanks for keeping company with us this half hour. This is CBS News Up to the Minute.
CBS News, experience you can trust.
Now on CBS News Up to the Minute.
Now we'll execute.
Faithfully, the office of President of the United States.
It's history, take two, as President Obama swears the oath of office that was flubbed Inauguration Day.
I've never had someone inspire me the way people tell me my father inspired them.
But Caroline Kennedy says she has no interest in Hillary Clinton's open Senate seat. Good morning from CBS News headquarters in New York. This is Up to the Minute. I'm Meg Oliver. A footnote to history was corrected at the White House. Barack Obama was sworn in as president for the second time.
I have to do it very slowly.
Chief Justice John Roberts, who flubbed the oath on Inauguration Day, did the honors. The specific wording is spelled out in the Constitution. Today, President Obama will make good on a campaign pledge to close the military detention center at Guantanamo Bay. The executive order will close the prison within a year and immediately stop all military trials for terrorist suspects. So far, there's no decision on what to do with about 250 detainees at the base. The president's second day in office promises to be pretty much like the first, jam-packed. CBS Chief White House correspondent Chip Reed reports on the president's rush to get his agenda moving.
He said he was going to hit the ground running, and he was true to his word. He spent the day racing through a jam-packed schedule of meetings and events on everything from the economy to the war in Iraq to peace in the Middle East.
President Barack Obama walked into the Oval Office at 8:35 a.m. on his first full day in the White House and spent 10 minutes alone. He read a note of welcome left by President Bush addressed to 44 from 43. Then Mr. Obama and the First Lady climbed into the new heavily armored presidential limousine bound for the National Prayer Service, a tradition for new presidents since George Washington. Religious leaders of various faiths prayed for guidance in the days ahead. Hurrying back to the Oval Office, he called the leaders of Egypt, Israel, Jordan, and the Palestinian Authority, pledging active engagement in the pursuit of Middle East peace. His first foreign policy order, though, was issued Tuesday night. Shortly after Mr. Obama left the reviewing stand, Defense Secretary Gates got a call ordering him to suspend military trials of the 5 suspected 9/11 conspirators held at Guantanamo Bay Prison. The order will give Mr. Obama time to decide how to proceed after he issues an order expected Thursday to close the prison. He signed orders tightening ethics rules for government employees and gave his new staff instructions on what it means to do government service.
It's not about advantaging yourself. It's not about advancing your friends or your corporate clients. The American people are really counting on us now.
He welcomed his new White House team one by one, then did the same for 200 lucky members of the public who, after signing up on the internet, were invited to an open house.
Enjoy yourself, roll around. Don't break anything.
In late afternoon, Mr. Obama turned to his top priority, meeting with his economic team to strategize on getting his $825 billion stimulus package through Congress. He then met with top military advisors to discuss his goal of getting combat troops out of Iraq within 16 months. General David Petraeus, who opposes timetables, flew overnight all the way from Afghanistan so he could attend in person.
White House advisors say the frenetic pace is expected to continue for the foreseeable future. There's too much at stake, they say, to slow down. Chip Reed, CBS News, the White House.
Caroline Kennedy, once considered a frontrunner to fill Hillary Clinton's New York Senate seat, now says she doesn't want the job. The daughter of JFK issued a statement saying, quote, "I informed Governor Patterson today that for personal reasons, I am withdrawing my name from consideration for the United States Senate." Kennedy entered the spotlight at last year's Democratic convention. She has never held elected office. The Senate seat was once held by her slain uncle, Bobby Kennedy. That seat is officially open. Mrs. Clinton was sworn in as Secretary of State. She won confirmation by a vote of 94-2. Another member of Obama's foreign policy team seems headed to confirmation, Susan Rice. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee endorsed her nomination for ambassador to the United Nations. A final vote has not been scheduled. Eric Holder's bid to become the first African-American Attorney General is on hold at least for a week. The Senate Judiciary Committee wants more time to question him on several issues, including whether U.S. intelligence agents can be prosecuted for using, quote, harsh interrogation techniques on terror suspects. And Timothy Geithner is moving closer to confirmation as Treasury Secretary, despite questions about his failure to pay some of his taxes. CBS's Cheryl Atkinson has more.
Give me come to order.
At Timothy Geithner's confirmation hearing for Treasury Secretary, some expressed strong support.
I have confidence that Mr. Geithner is up to the job.
But Geithner's nomination isn't without controversy and a dose of irony. The man who will oversee the IRS claims he didn't understand all of his own tax obligations, failing to pay Social Security and Medicare taxes for parts of 4 years.
But they were unintentional. They were not intentional mistakes. They were completely unintentional.
It happened when Geithner worked for the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. Workers are considered self-employed as far as paying taxes, a fact given in detailed instructions and repeatedly acknowledged by Geithner in signed paperwork. Yet Geithner paid no IMF Social Security taxes from 2001 to 2004. An IRS audit in 2006 caught the mistake, but only for 03 and 04. Geithner paid $16,000. The IRS waived penalties. Taxpayer watchdog Pete Sepp says that kind of mistake normally incurs the harshest fines.
If Mr. Geithner got a pass on the penalty, he's a very lucky man.
But what really rankled some senators is that only after Geithner knew he was President Obama's pick for Treasury Secretary did he go back and pay his Social Security taxes for 01 and 02, nearly $26,000 more.
Did that thought never cross your mind until you became a candidate for nomination as Secretary of the Treasury?
That was the first time I thought through carefully the question about whether I should go back and cover that.
Would you answer my question rather than dancing around it, please?
In this case, I made a series of mistakes, but they were not intentional mistakes. They're my responsibility.
Some of Geithner's opponents consider him a chief architect of the failed policies that led to the bailout, but he has many supporters and is expected to be confirmed. Cheryl Atkinson, CBS News, Capitol Hill. For the first time, Toyota has overtaken General Motors as the world's biggest automaker. Despite posting its first operating loss in 70 years, Toyota sold nearly 9 million vehicles last year. That's about 600,000 more than GM, which remains on the brink of bankruptcy and is still trying to reorganize to get more government bailout money. More news in 2 minutes.
Why buy half a mattress? 2 sides are always better than one. Celebrate with the American Spirit from Englander. Made in America, exclusively at Bedding Barn. Take it home with you or same-day delivery available. Buy at a Bedding Barn near you.
In Florida, Davie, Tamarack, Deerfield Beach, Boynton Beach, and West Palm Beach.
When you think of ultrasound, you probably think of pregnant women, right? That's only the tip of the iceberg. Diagnostic ultrasound technicians also check patients for problems of the heart, abdomen, and more. And the career field is growing as more doctors use ultrasound instead of x-rays. So if you want a career where you can help people and be in demand, call ATI for career training. The number is on your screen. Call ATI right now. One call can change your life. Call now.
A Discovery cruise offers all the amenities of a longer cruise in one fun-filled day to the Bahamas. Free lavish buffet meals are included. Visit discoverycruiseline.com. Even choose to cruise and stay.
Fun day cruises from $29.99 per person, including meals on board, or stay the night from $49.99 per person. Call 877-508-7477. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
Fighting cancer takes determination, technology, and time. Introducing RapidArc, a new cancer therapy from Varian that can help you in your fight by focusing a powerful dose of radiation directly to a tumor in a treatment that only takes a few minutes a day. A few minutes out of your day, and then you're back to everything you love. RapidArc from Varian. Tough on cancer, because cancer doesn't deserve a second chance.
Bedding Barn has the largest selection of the world-famous Tempur-Pedic at the guaranteed lowest discount prices. You gotta feel it to believe it. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
In Florida, Davie, Tamarack, Deerfield Beach, Boynton Beach, and West Palm Beach.
He said he would hit the ground running, and that is exactly what President Obama did. On his first day, he worked on the economy, Iraq, and even changed some of the old Washington ways. Political reporter Alex Burns joins us from Washington with some insight. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
Okay, before we get to all of that, the big news is that President Obama actually had to be sworn in again. Let's listen to how it went down the first time.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear
that I will execute the office of President to the United States faithfully.
that I will execute
The office of President of the United
office of
States.
President of the United States faithfully.
And will, to the best of my
If you were watching this on Tuesday, I think most people realized it wasn't smooth, but did they actually have to do it over again?
Well, you know, there was a statement released yesterday night by the White House counsel saying, listen, in our view, President Obama was lawfully and constitutionally sworn in, but the pledge, the oath of office is written in the Constitution, and so we thought we should do it again just to do due diligence to the text. They probably didn't need to do it all over again, but why not resolve any sort of lingering doubts?
They wanted to be careful, I can understand. Now, he had a lot on his plate Wednesday. Is he off to a good start?
Well, you know, he certainly has dominated the news cycle since taking office, and he certainly sent some strong signals that he did intend to, as you said, change the ways of Washington, instituting a number of fairly important and significant measures related to White House transparency. He froze the White House staff salaries for everyone making over $100,000, instituted new limits on the time period after which staffers can go into lobbying, and then instructed executive agencies to comply more freely with the Freedom of Information Act. That's something we haven't seen in the last 8 years.
Well, you mentioned freezing the pay of the White House staffers that make at least 6 figures. How do you think that went over after he spent $170 million on the inauguration?
Well, you know, I think that anyone who's working in the White House probably isn't doing it for the money. The people who are making 6 figures working in the White House could probably be making a lot more money working at a public relations firm or at a lobbying firm. So if they're there, they're not there for the cash. And the difference between, you know, getting a $2,000 raise and not probably isn't so significant to someone like David Axelrod.
All right, let's talk about the national security policy. He wants to overhaul it, which includes closing the Guantanamo Bay Detention Center. Specifically, when it comes to prosecuting suspected terrorists, what does he want to change?
Well, you know, Barack Obama hasn't made it exactly clear how he wants to prosecute terrorists, except that he wants to do it in a more orderly and, Democrats say, lawful way than the Bush administration did. The former U.S. Attorney for New Mexico, David Iglesias, has been appointed to prosecute many of the detainees in Guantanamo Bay, and there are reports that Barack Obama will today announce an executive order to close that prison within the year. What exactly he'll do with all those people, though, is still an open question.
And how did he do on the economy on day one?
Well, he certainly met with his economic advisors, including notably Carol Browner, the energy and climate czar, sending a signal perhaps that he does intend to deal with climate change and energy as part of the overall economic stimulus package.
Well, in addition to having to be sworn in again, there are also some conflicting reports that were coming out late Wednesday night about Caroline Kennedy and that she may have dropped out of her bid for the open New York Senate seat. What's the latest on that? Is that true?
Well, what we've heard is that she has withdrawn, citing her uncle Ted Kennedy's health problems as the reason for her withdrawal. But there have also been signs in recent days that Governor David Paterson has maybe been moving away from her as a leading candidate, maybe towards someone like Congresswoman Kirsten Gillibrand, Attorney General Andrew Cuomo. And it does tend to be the case that when someone finds out they're not going to get picked for something, they withdraw their name from the appointment process.
Do you expect we'll find out who he's going to appoint? He said he wouldn't do it until Senator Clinton was actually sworn in as Secretary of State, so I assume it's going to be rather quickly.
Right. So she has now resigned her Senate seat. New York only has one representative in the U.S. Senate, and so there are signs that David Paterson will name her replacement by this weekend.
All right. Alex Burns, reporter for Politico. As always, thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much.
While the economy remains the top priority, President Obama has a full plate on the foreign front, too. He convened his war cabinet Wednesday to discuss new strategy for Afghanistan, which calls for sending up to 30,000 more U.S. troops to fight the resurgent Taliban. So far this year, 11 Americans have been killed in Afghanistan, compared to 8 in Iraq. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer is in Kabul with more.
It was a cold, wet welcome for the soldiers of the 10th Mountain Division arriving in Afghanistan. This is the first wave, 3,000 strong, of the new U.S. troop buildup. Their mission is to stop the Taliban's steady advance into provinces that lie on the very outskirts of the Afghan capital, Kabul. Before they head out, they test their guns. These troops have orders to make local people feel secure, so aid projects in the area can go ahead. But they know that's going to draw Taliban attacks.
If, you know, the Taliban and the bad guys want to pick a fight, well then, you know, that's what we'll have to do to make sure that the people are protected.
The so-called bad guys have picked plenty of fights already. And they're getting bolder. In June, the Taliban filmed their own ambush of a convoy in Wardak that killed 3 U.S. soldiers. Then in August, after killing 10 NATO paratroopers, they paraded in uniforms stripped from the corpses, as you can see in this exclusive video obtained by CBS News.
This is the last police checkpoint on the southern outskirts of Kabul, and it's simply not safe to travel any further. Beyond, the Taliban operate freely, hunting down and killing Afghans who work for the government, aid workers, and foreigners.
Sparse police checkpoints in this rugged area are no match for them. They've closed girls' schools in the villages and set up their own Islamic courts. Dr. Rushanak Wardak is the local member of parliament, and she says the Taliban's tyranny is bad, but having more U.S. troops around to fight them will be worse.
They will attack on Taliban. Taliban will attack with them. Our security will disturb.
Here's your 2 mags, huh?
The newly arrived U.S. soldiers are now bracing for their first battle to convince Afghan civilians that in this case, more war is the cost of a lasting peace. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, Kabul.
Still ahead, a warning for new moms, why it's not just their babies that need vaccines before they leave the hospital. You're watching CBS News, Up to the Minute.
It's the money you could be saving with Geico. He's not much for conversation, but if he was, it would be a conversation about saving you money.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's the money you could be saving with Geico. He's peering deep into your soul, as if he knows you like to save money.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Attention, if you're on Medicare with diabetes, you may be eligible for an upgraded meter.
Results from testing my blood glucose were often wrong. I'd have to code my meter.
If you're on Medicare with diabetes, then you need to know about the newest methods in checking your blood glucose. You don't have to code your meter anymore, and you don't have to stab your fingers. These new no-code meters are easier to use and nearly painless.
This new method hurts less, and I don't have to code the test strips anymore.
No coding helps make testing faster and confirms accuracy. And the best news is that Diabetes Care Club will send you one of these new meters.
I called, got my no-code meter, now my fingers don't hurt anymore.
Diabetes Care Club delivers the latest technology directly to your door for free. So call and find out why over 100,000 patients choose Diabetes Care Club.
Honey, you don't have to code anymore. Upgrade your meter and change the way you test now.
I couldn't sleep last night.
Me either, so I tried Unisom sleep melts.
They dissolve quickly without water and taste great.
You'll melt asleep fast, stay asleep, and wake refreshed.
Sleep well?
Like a baby.
Unisom sleep melts.
Melt asleep fast.
What's an emergency that boosts your health and energy? 1,000 milligrams of immune-strengthening vitamin C, plus naturally energizing B vitamins. Get a free sample at emergency.com and feel the good.
Coming up, swindled, cheated, robbed. Wall Street schemes took their savings. Victims of Bernie Madoff and other scams. Coming up on The Early Show. When the questions are just as important as the answers.
Aren't you going to have to tell them that they just can't do that?
There's one place where the biggest names in politics face the facts, face the truth.
How bad is this situation right now?
Face the Nation with Bob Schieffer, Sundays on CBS. The biggest names in politics face the nation with Bob Schieffer, Sundays.
It's 19 past the hour. Top stories and up to the minute. Caroline Kennedy is dropping her bid for the U.S. Senate seat. In a statement, she said it was for personal reasons. Pakistani officials have arrested an al-Qaeda suspect in the 2005 bombings of London's transit system. And Fidel Castro has broken a 5-week silence with an essay in which he calls President Obama honest in his ideas. The essay is dispelling rumors that the 82-year-old's health had taken a turn for the worse. In overseas trading, Japan's benchmark Nikkei index closed up 150 points to finish at 8,051. Alexis Christophorus has more in this morning's CBS News Money Watch.
Profits at Apple are better than expected. The company says earnings rose 2% last quarter. Despite the recession, it sold 23 million iPods from October to December. The results were not so good at eBay. The internet auction site says earnings sank 31% last quarter. The recession has shoppers shying away from the website. More major companies will reveal their earnings today, including Microsoft and Google. After an Inauguration Day plunge, the markets had a major comeback Wednesday. The Dow jumped 279 points, finishing above 8,000. The Nasdaq ran up 66. Williams-Sonoma is cutting 18% of its workforce. The household products retailer says 1,400 employees will be let go. Intel is restructuring, a move that could affect some 6,000 jobs. The chip maker is closing 2 facilities in Asia. It will also scale back operations in Oregon and California. The nation's largest owner of radio stations is cutting 9% of its workforce. Clear Channel Communications will lay off 1,800 workers nationwide. And oil prices shot up 6% Wednesday. Crude topped $43 a barrel. In recent weeks, oil-producing countries have been lowering production in an attempt to boost prices. And that's your Money Watch. Click on cbsnews.com for more business headlines. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Alexis Christophorus.
More bad news for General Motors. The Detroit automaker has lost the title of world sales leader to Toyota. New figures out show GM sales last year totaled 8.5 million. Toyota nearly 9 million. GM has received the second installment of its federal loan package. It got $5.4 billion from the Treasury Department Wednesday, bringing the total to $9.4 billion. The company has until February 17th to submit a plan to the government showing how it can survive. In health news, new research out Wednesday shows giving steroids to children who are wheezing because of an infection doesn't do any good. About 1/3 of preschoolers develop wheezing, but 75% of them outgrow it by age 6. In the past, doctors have treated it as they would asthma, which is why they often use steroids. But according to new studies published in the New England Journal of Medicine, the conditions are so different that doctors need to rethink their current treatments. Also just released a study showing doctors should give all new moms a vaccine to protect their newborns from a deadly illness making a comeback. CBS's Karen Brown reports.
Niwa Kapumbu never dreamed that she could be a danger to her own newborn.
It's scary. I mean, of course, you don't want to give nothing to your baby.
Like most moms with new babies, she had no idea she should be vaccinated for whooping cough. But according to a new Northwestern University study, all moms should receive the DTaP vaccine before their babies come home from the hospital. The illness, characterized by severe coughing, can be deadly for babies, and they aren't able to be vaccinated until at least 2 months.
It is a very serious infection, especially the younger an infant is. They have gasping, cyanotic, turning blue episodes.
Whooping cough, or pertussis, is on the rise in the U.S., up tenfold since 1980. And about half of the babies who get it from a parent. According to the State University of New York, only about 2% of parents with babies in intensive care get the shot. Many have been vaccinated as children and don't know it wears off after 6 to 8 years.
We would urge the father go to their doctor to receive this immunization if they haven't received it also.
The Center for Disease Control now recommends booster shots for all adults and teens. Before there was a vaccine, whooping cough killed up to 10,000 Americans a year. Doctors believe it's making a comeback as more parents choose not to vaccinate their kids. Niwa says she'll do whatever it takes.
Oh, yeah, ask the doctor about the vaccine.
Protecting her son is her top priority. Karen Brown, CBS News, New York.
You're watching CBS News Up to the Minute.
When it comes to going bald, you now have a choice. Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
It is your real hair. It's your natural hair. You wash it, you cut it, you swim with it.
Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration experts, having pioneered virtually every major advancement in the art and science of hair restoration.
I'm very satisfied, very happy with what I've done. This has got to be one of the best decisions I've made in my life, I'll tell you that.
Bosley Hair Restoration is a relatively simple outpatient procedure. The results look completely natural, and it's affordable on nearly any budget. Call the toll-free number now to receive your free, no-obligation information kit that will help you decide if hair restoration at Bosley is right for you. You don't have to accept going bald. Do something about it right now.
Call 1-800-974-4389. That's 1-800-974-4389. Call now.
Whether you're building, remodeling, or creating a fresh look for your home, an American Lighting Association member showroom has experienced lighting professionals who can make your home more beautiful, functional, and secure. Most of all, we bring your best ideas to light.
At Southdale Lighting, 13006 Southwest 87th Avenue.
Now at Rooms to Go Kids, see the exclusive NFL Kids Bedroom Collection. It's an amazing lineup, 4 exciting styles, and a roster filled with great looks for every NFL team. So don't miss out on the action. Beat the rush. Pick your style. Pick your team. And make your favorite NFL team a part of your playbook. 32 teams, 4 cool styles. The NFL Bedroom Collection, exclusively at Rooms to Go Kids.
We've all seen advertisements that try to shock you to get attention, but what if the ad isn't trying to sell anything other than an idea, a controversial idea? CBS's Amy Gutman has the story from London.
Advertising revenue has been plummeting, but London's red buses just got a $250,000 bonanza from a very unusual source. No, not from the church, from those who reject it, atheists. There's probably no God. Enjoy your life is the latest in-your-face message to cross the city. It's not exactly catchy, but Ariane Shireen and others hope it will catch on.
I'm kind of hoping not to convert people, but just to make people think a little, make them smile on the way to work.
The comedy writer came up with the idea when she wrote a blog criticizing evangelical advertising on buses.
I was told that all non-Christians, which includes me, are going to go to hell and burn there for all eternity. It's just the kind of scaring people to religion that I take exception to.
But she never expected to get the backing of scientist Richard Dawkins and enough money for ads on 800 buses and the underground. The biggest surprise is what little anger it's generating. Church of England leaders have welcomed the open debate on faith, and it spurred similar campaigns in Washington, D.C. and Spain. But what do ordinary people think?
I wouldn't exactly say I'm an atheist myself, but I think it's time that that image was out at the same time.
What do you think about that ad?
It's not right. It's not true.
A little more tolerance be a good idea.
Well, I'm not keen on it at all, really.
In Britain, only a third consider themselves Christian, and even fewer go to church. So the ads may be good for business, but they're unlikely to change minds. Amy Gutman, CBS News, London.
Thanks for joining us this half hour. This is CBS News Up to the Minute.
CBS News. Experience you can trust.
Make CBS 4 News part of your morning routine. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m.
Kennedy, you're not going to answer questions at all?
Bowing out, Caroline Kennedy drops her bid for Hillary Clinton's New York Senate seat. Clinton confirmed. Hillary Clinton is sworn in as the next Secretary of State. And take two, the Chief Justice re-administers the oath of office, just in case.
Congratulations again. Thank you, sir.
This is the CBS Morning News for Thursday, January 22nd, 2009.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle Gielim. On the second full day of his presidency, Barack Obama today will focus on national security policy, including the controversial prison at Guantanamo Bay. But there was also an administrative matter to attend to. Joel Brown's in Washington with more. Good morning, Joel.
Michelle, good morning to you. A busy day one, and the new White House says expect that kind of breakneck pace from them in the weeks and months to come. The new president even making time to redo his oath of office. President Obama wants to lock down the Guantanamo Bay Detention Center for good. A senior aide says the president will sign 3 executive orders today that would close the prison within a year, review military trials of terror suspects, and end harsh interrogations. An estimated 245 men are being held at the Cuba Naval Base, most of whom have been detained for years without being charged.
What a moment we're in. What an opportunity we have to change this country.
Mr. Obama isn't wasting any time shaking up Washington. He's already signed orders tightening ethics rules for government employees. And in a dramatic move, he instituted a pay freeze for his senior staff. But executive orders aren't the only thing on